The Master Sword is back in Tears of the Kingdom, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to acquire this legendary weapon. And for those of you worried about its usefulness during your playthrough, let me assure you that this is going to be a great addition to your inventory, because unlike Breath of the Wild, you can actually acquire this very early in the game, within the first few hours of playing, and it is actually very powerful, especially when you incorporate fusion into the Master Sword. And one of the best parts about this is it has a naturally high base damage compared to other weapons that you can get both early and mid-game. So once you apply fusion to it, you're going to be one or two shotting most monsters in the early game and really just destroying most high-level monsters and bosses. There are a few different ways you can acquire the Master Sword, but I'm going to be showing you the way that I think you should get it the first time, because you really should be getting this the second you enter Hyrule, because there is some story involved in this that's really going to help you understand what's going on in the game. Now, I won't be providing any spoilers to that story in this video. I'm just going to be showing you what you need to do, and I really want you to experience that story on your own while you acquire this weapon. Now, the one downside of the Master Sword is that it does not break, but it does still have the cooldown timer from Breath of the Wild, which is 10 minutes. To be able to pull the Master Sword, you're going to need 2 full bars of stamina, which is equivalent to 20 shrines. But unlike Breath of the Wild, you can actually use food to increase your maximum stamina wheel, and this will actually work to be able to pull the Master Sword. So if you don't want to invest your first few shrines into stamina, then you can use food like the Enduring Carrots to be able to increase your maximum stamina. To start this quest, you're going to have to locate Kato. If you go from Lookout Landing and follow the road northwest, you can cross the gorge here, and Kato is going to be standing in this open area right here. Kato is going to tell you that Impa has gone off on her own to investigate the geoglyphs. You can actually see one of these geoglyphs right behind you, and we're going to need to locate all of these on the map to acquire the Master Sword. Once you talk to Kato, head to the New Serene Stables, and you'll find Impa here, kind of on this rock structure with what seems to be a broken down blimp near one of these glyphs. This mission is going to introduce us to the process of finding dragon tears within these glyphs. These dragon tears can be located from high up or on the ground. And once you do find one, you're going to unlock a memory of Princess Zelda. I won't be showing the actual memories in this video. I will be showing all the locations and the process that we need to be able to unlock the Master Sword. But I do recommend watching all these cutscenes because it's a really interesting story, and I think you'll all really enjoy it. The first dragon's tear can be found at the top of this geoglyph. Just head to this location, pick it up, watch the cutscene, and we'll continue on to the next one. Once you get the first dragon's tear, make sure to head back to Impa. She's going to tell you to head to the Forgotten Temple, where she has gone on without you. Head all the way to the back of the temple, where you're going to find her waiting for you. From here, just head a little bit farther back, and you're going to find a map room with all the different locations of the glyphs around Hyrule. This next geoglyph is going to be directly west of Central Hyrule. You can find it directly on this little plateau right here, the Illumeni Plateau. If you head to the spot right here, you can see Impa and Kato already standing right next to the balloon, and the tier that you need to pick up is just sitting right there. The next geoglyph we're going to get is northwest of Central Hyrule. You can easily see it from the Picata Stonegrove Skyview Tower. That's a mouthful, and it's right here. If you fly towards this location, you'll be able to see it. From the sky, just look for the tier that is a solid tier from the sky. All the other ones will be empty except for this one. Next, if you have the Picata Skyview Tower unlocked, you can fly south from that one. And as you fly south, you'll notice one of the geoglyphs in this mountainside right here. Next, you can go from the Picata Skyview Tower, which is northwest from Central Hyrule. If you launch out of this and then glide your way south, on this cliffside right here, there's going to be another geoglyph. You can also get to this from the road. If you head to this location on the map, next you're going to want to head south towards the Gerudo area. If you go to the Gerudo Canyon Skyview Tower and launch yourself out of it, as you're falling from the sky, you'll be able to see it right on this ledge here. So all we gotta do is just make sure we have enough stamina to glide towards it. They definitely get easier and easier to see as you progress through these. Next, we're gonna head to the Typhlo Ruins Skyview Tower, which is just north of Central Hyrule. If you launch out of this tower, you can actually find one of the sword glyphs pretty much right below it. And as you're flying down, the tier is going to be in the very tip of the sword. And if we open up our map, that location is right here at the edge of this cliff. Next, we're going to head to the Elden Canyon Skyview Tower. This glyph is much smaller than all the others, but it's going to be just to the right of this little train track thing. And we can kind of dive down towards it. As you fly down towards this one, it kind of looks like a Nintendo Switch. We can open up our map, and it is exactly right here on the map. So if we zoom out, we can see that it's right here within all of this stuff. And the spot we're looking for is just kind of at the center of this. The next one, the tier is a little bit harder to see from the sky. If you launch yourself out of the slope Skyview Tower, you can find the next glyph right here next to the Batria Lake. This one's much harder to see from the sky. You also don't have to launch yourself out of the tower to get to it. But if you head to this clump of trees right here, at the top of this hill, you'll be able to find the next tier location. Next, we're going to head to the Poplar Foothill Skyview Tower, and when you launch yourself out of it, you're going to want to start heading directly southwest. And as you cross over this river, you'll see one of the glyphs right there, and we're headed for the left side of this one right there. Now, for the exact location of this on the map, we can zoom in, because you can get to this without actually having to fly to them. It's right here on the map, just west of the Hylia Island. Next, we're going to head far east. If you launch yourself out of the Mount Lanariu Skyview Tower, or even just yeet yourself off of any of these cliffs, you'll be able to see the next glyph right here on this peninsula. It kind of looks like a shell of some sort or a conch, but we're heading for this corner of it right here. Next, we're going to head to the Rubella Wetlands Skyview Tower and launch ourselves out of there. This one's pretty easy to see. You can see it pretty much the second you pop out. It's going on that little peninsula right there. And the spot we're going for is right on the left side of the Hilton Guard. The spot we're going for is the very southeast corner of the map. Now that we've collected all of the memories, we've got a new dragon floating around the sky. And if you open up your map, the first location that you'll be able to go to find it is at the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower. And there's another memory that we can collect right here called the Dragon's Tears. It's at the northeastern part of the map. You can launch here from the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower, or you can just kind of walk your way over here. There's also a shrine here that you can unlock for fast traveling. Now that we've collected all of the different tiers and seen all the memories, we can already see the Master Sword kind of embedded in her skull. So we just need to land on top of this dragon. I'm curious if it's like the other dragons where she might have some additional bonuses embedded into her back. Those of you that don't know, you can actually land on all the dragons in the game now. A Shard of Light's Dragon Spike. Wow. Is very destructive when fused to a weapon, and it also imbues the weapon with healing power. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so good. So not only are we getting the Master Sword, we're also getting a very, very useful item as well. So at the very tip of her head is the Master Sword embedded in it. So let's grab onto this and see if we can pull it out. From here, if you don't want any story spoilers, I recommend skipping to the next chapter where we're going to go over Master Sword Weapon Fusion, because all you really need to know is that if you have 2 full wheels of stamina, you can pull this sword. Oh, is it going to kill her? This is a stamina check this time rather than a heart check. We only have 2 rings of stamina. I have a feeling it's not going to take a lot. Please don't kill her. I 100% thought I killed her. Wow, it's just such a beautiful scene, though.
Link. Link. The Master Sword. Your sword. She is the key to destroying the Demon King. He defeated her before, but a long slumber will heal these grievous wounds. And when you two next face the Demon King, you will have my strength to help you through her. Link, you are our final hope. I pray this sword reaches you in the future.
Okay, that was pretty phenomenal. I only wish I did it with a less ugly mask on. And ladies and gentlemen, we officially have the Master Sword. Now that we've got the Master Sword, let's get into weapon fusion. One of the interesting things to take note about the Master Sword is when it does run out of energy, you are also going to lose the fused material that you equipped on it. Now this is better than losing the weapon and the fused material, but do keep in mind that you are going to eventually lose the fused material as well. Now I do have some favorite things to fuse onto these weapons. There are some better things you can fuse mid to late game, but for the most part these are going to be really good. Now any of the dragon horns are going to be a great fuse material for the Master Sword, but the Nadra's horn in particular is, in my opinion, one of the best things. It has the ability to freeze targets and it does a lot of damage, just as much as the other ones, but the freeze effect seems to be just so much better in my opinion, and quite frankly it was better in Breath of the Wild as well. Now farming up this dragon horn can be relatively easy. If you head to the southeast corner of the map, you can head to the Mount Lenaryu Skyview Tower, and you will occasionally find the dragon popping out of this hole right here. Now this dragon will make kind of a path through here, so you have quite a long chance to be able to mount this thing and shoot the horn off of it if you so desire. And then you have another chance to go through the Rebella Wetland Skyview Tower as well, because it kind of passed right through here, and it's going to make its way all the way back up and then back down into this hole near Kakariko Village. Once it gets to this point, it's actually going to go underground, and then you can find it in the underground area as well. I'm not going to talk too much about that right now, but eventually it will make its way back out this hole right here, and it continues this path. Now, it's not affected by time or anything like that, so you just kind of have to wait for it to be above or below ground, depending on where you want to hunt it. Otherwise, the dragon works exactly the same. If you shoot it in the head, you're going to get a horn. If you shoot it in a scale, you're going to get a scale. And if you shoot it in the foot, you're going to get a claw. You can also run along the backs of the dragons to pick up their spikes, which you can use as hammers on weapons or to modify your arrows. Now, my next favorite fusion materials are the Black Moblin Horn or the Diamond, but the Black Moblin Horns are significantly more common to get and incredibly powerful. There are two places that I enjoy farming the Black Moblin Horns, the first of which being next to the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower. If you fast travel here and then run down the hill, there's going to be a Black Moblin and a Blue Moblin sitting right here, and you can easily farm these up. The next spot actually has 4 Black Moblins along it, so you'll be able to get 4 Black Moblin Horns in quick succession here. And this is located just a little bit farther north at the Jochi-Iu Shrine. So this is the Skyview Tower. If you continue traveling northeast to the East Akala Stable, you can unlock this shrine. You can farm all of these Black Moblins right along this road. Now, I do really hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.